You're listening to Satyavani,
the voice of the APJ Satya University, India's first liberal arts and meta university.
For further information, please visit our website university.apj.edu/. university.apj.edu/.
I'm Sushma Das. I used to feel completely exhausted. I didn't feel like eating anything. Even when I was not working, I used to be tired and drowsy. This continued for a long time. The condition worsened and I was admitted to a hospital. The doctor told me it was anemia.
This was Sushma Das. She's a student at APJ Satya University's School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Recently, she was diagnosed with anemia. Hello, I am Nehal Rajvanshi, a second-year student of Bachelor in Journalism and Mass Communication. According to World Health Organization, anemia is the world's second leading cause of disability and thus one of the most serious global public health problems. Anemia affects over half of preschool children and pregnant women in developing countries and at least 30 to 40% in industrialized countries. But how many of us know what actually anemia is? Is it the name of a skin disease?
It is a skin infection, right?
The blood count level goes down and so the hemoglobin levels also goes down along with that, leading to weakness and all those.
Anemia means who's having deficiency of blood in their body.
Those were some students. This clearly tells us that people don't really have an idea about anemia. Let's find out what anemia is. Dr. Preeti Rastogi is a senior consultant specializing in gynecology with Fortis Medical Research Institute, Gurgaon. With an experience of 12 years to her credit, Dr. Rastogi has been associated with institutions such as Sita Ram Bhartiya Institute of Science and Research, New Delhi, and University Hospital of Wales, UK, among others.
So, anemia is when your iron count, or in medical language we call hemoglobin, is less than 12 gram% in girls and less than 14 gram% in boys.
That was Dr. Preeti Rastogi. Hemoglobin level can decrease in any of us. We might suffer from anemia. But how do we get to know if we are anemic? It is important that we know what the symptoms of anemia are. Dr. Irfana believes that improper dietary intake is one of the major causes of anemia.
Dr. Irfana is a diplomate of National Board. She is currently working as a resident doctor in Vedanta, which is a medical institution in Gurgaon.
So basically the symptoms are there will be generalized weakness. The patient or the person with anemia won't be able to do the daily activities like he was doing normally before. And basic symptom is this, that is there will be a lot of weakness and the patient will have like drowsiness, sleepiness, and if it becomes severe enough, like moderate or severe anemia, they will be having difficulty in breathing while they climb stairs or they'll do some extra activity, some severe activity. So they'll have breathlessness on climbing stairs, on doing some heavy work, on lifting weights and all. So basically these are the symptoms, and there will be palpitation. That is, they'll feel their heartbeat. The heart will be just pounding, and this is in severe anemia.
My condition was the same. I used to feel dizzy when I climbed stairs or studied. Green vegetables, pulses and fruits used to invoke an unusual sensation in me. I felt completely drained out of energy.
So we know about anemia and its symptoms. But why does it happen? What are the causes of it? Dr. Preeti mentions some of the causes.
Well, there could be 2 or 3 types of anemia which are very common in population. The most common one is the iron deficiency anemia. where there is a lack of iron in the body, which could be because of the lack of dietary intake or could be excessive loss from the body. The second one is lack of vitamin B12, and the third one, which is more common, is lack of vitamin called folic acid.
When I consulted the doctor for anemia, they conducted a blood test. My reports were positive for anemia.
Blood test? How do they test for anemia? What do the pathologists look for? No one can explain it better than a pathologist itself.
So, approach to a patient of anemia, the number one thing a physician would order is a complete blood count, where we would know about hemoglobin and RBC indices, along with a peripheral smear examination. So, you can see the RBC morphology on a peripheral smear. Within the CBC, the complete blood count, you would also get platelet counts and the total WBC counts, which anyway should be seen in correlation, although anemia will have very little effect on the other blood cell counts. Now, the anemia is basically divided into three important categories based on the RBC's size. So that is the mean corpuscular volume, the MCV, which is measured in femtoliters. And the three categories which are there, so MCV value less than 80, you basically call it a microcytic anemia. MCV value, you can further investigate the patient. So for example, in a microcytic anemia where MCV is less than 80, you would think of an iron deficiency or a thalassemia trait. So you can further investigate. Then for MCV between 80 to 100, which is a normocytic anemia, you would think of a systemic disorder. So like anemia of renal disease is a normocytic anemia. And you can also suspect hemolysis because that also presents like a normocytic anemia. So which is going to be another full battery of tests required to rule out hemolysis. The basic one being the reticulocyte count. Then anemia where MCV is more than 80, which is MCV is more than 100, that is macrocytic anemia. You think more in terms of vitamin B12 or folate deficiency, thyroid hormone deficiencies, alcoholism and liver disease. So you would get the investigations done for these.
That was Dr. Ritu Chadha. She is a senior consultant with SRL Diagnostics of Fortis Medical Research Institute. It is equally important to know the process through which anemia is diagnosed in a clinic.
Ministry of Women and Child Development of India claimed that India is among the countries with highest prevalence of anemia globally. It accounts for the largest number of anemic persons in the world.
This is astonishing. Largest number of anemics in the world are Indians. This disease can turn fatal too, if not treated on time. Let's know how the doctors provide treatment to the patients for anemia.
So the treatment for anemia starts with the general measures. So the general measure includes dietary improvement. So need to take the food which is rich in iron. In Indian population, in vegetarian, it is more of taking beans, green leafy vegetables. Can take beetroot, high protein diet like paneer and soya. And in fruits, mainly it is pomegranate. Then we need to improve the hemoglobin by giving the oral tablets, which aim to improve the iron in the blood.
This was Dr. Preeti mentioning some types of treatment. Dr. Irfana has other recommendations.
How can it be treated? Basically, if it is mild anemia, like it is 8 to 10, then we can give just oral supplements like iron tablets at the night for 2 to 3 months. We have to continue it, and we have to basically look at the deficiencies like folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to anemia because these leads to maturation of the nucleus in the RBCs. So we have to supplement these things if it is nutritional. Basic thing is in vegetarians they won't be eating non-veg and there will be B12 deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiency that leads to anemia. So if we give B12, the hemoglobin will automatically get corrected. So this is the treatment is we have to correct the basic cause of anemia. We have to look at the cause. We have to do some panel of studies, and in it, if the iron is less, we have to supplement iron. If the vitamin B12 and folic acid is less, we have to see. And in B12 also the absorption, if the absorption is less, some like bariatric surgeries, there will be a lot of intestine is removed, so the B12 won't be absorbed into the intestine and there will be anemia. So we have to supplement B12 daily. There are a lot of rare conditions, but they are there. And in supplementation in treatment also there are a lot of things like oral and intravenous, like injectable forms are there of iron. Actually in mild anemia we can give just oral iron. In moderate, like we can give IV iron therapy for in hospital, and if it is very severe we have to give blood transfusions.
It was only because of the iron-rich diet and nutritious meals that I could feel better. I was given a syrup Synorange, which supplemented folic acid in my body. The treatment genuinely helped me.
The study by Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition shows rising incidence of malnutrition-related diseases among women as compared to men and children. 74% of the under 5 kids in the country are anemic. According to UNICEF's 2013 report, 48% of the 61 million under 5 children are stunned due to chronic undernutrition.
These startling facts are a part of an article entitled 50% of India's Pregnant Women Anemic, published in the Times of India in April 2015. This is a strong evidence to suggest that anemia is a serious concern worldwide. But why is it that girls and expecting mothers are affected so much by anemia?
Because of the more of dietary habits, more of the fast food, lack of the dietary intake. So people are not taking the food which is rich in iron, like green leafy vegetables, beetroot, beans, and people are more toward the fast food. That is the more common reason. Yeah, the same goes with the pregnancy as well, because if you start the pregnancy with a low hemoglobin level, then you tend to be anemic throughout the pregnancy. So it's the lack of the proper dietary intake which leads to the anemia.
Say no to junk foods and yes to iron-rich diet. This should be the new motto for all you girls. If the fear of being obese is keeping you away from healthy eating, then you must know that anemia is a more dangerous devil to your body.
It is your choice to contribute to the growing rates of anemia or to take a step forward to cure it. Like I did, include iron and vitamin-rich food item in your diet. Eat lots and lots of green vegetables, pulses, meat and eggs. Just do this and you will be free from anemia.
You're listening to Satyavani,
the voice of the APJ Satya University, India's first liberal arts and meta university.
For further information, please visit our website university.apj.edu/. university.apj.edu/.